Trying to stay motivated in the dating world can be difficult, especially if your mood drops and you don't feel as positive as you once did. But don't worry, that's actually completely normal. One thing to remember is that not every date you go on is going to be a success, and we are going to introduce a couple of dopamine boosting moves to help pick you up and get you back out there for the ladies. These flirting techniques will have you smiling from ear to ear, feeling positive, and helping you get your dream girl. And this sounds great, doesn't it? So let's get into them shortly. Like and subscribe. Okay, what is dopamine? It's a molecule that has a variety of crucial functions in our cells. You can experience pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation thanks to dopamine. Dopamine levels in the brain spike when you feel good about what you have accomplished. So, long story short, dopamine is a happy hormone that tells your brain to feel happy and positive. Boost dopamine at home. Before we get into how you can get your dream woman with dopamine boosting moves, let's just dive a little deeper into how we can get our dopamine levels up naturally at home. Nothing too scientific, don't worry, but just some friendly advice to help you come full circle. And trust me, when your dopamine levels are up, everything feels so much easier to achieve, dating included. Protein. Having adequate levels in the diet can increase dopamine levels in the brain, which may promote deep thinking and improve your memory. Now, studies show that extremely high or low intakes of these amino acids can impact dopamine's levels, but it's unknown whether normal variations in protein intake would have much of an impact. Tyrosine and phenylalanine are two amino acids that can both be found in foods high in protein, and these help to create dopamine. Now, dopamine levels may be increased by extremely high intakes of these two amino acids. Move. Participating in regular bursts of energy can help boost dopamine levels in the brain and improve mood, according to many studies. One study found that performing 1 hour of yoga 6 days per week significantly increased dopamine levels. In rats, treadmill running increases the release of dopamine and upregulates the number of dopamine receptors in the reward areas of the brain. Exercise on a regular basis can improve mood and possibly increase dopamine levels. To determine specific suggestions for raising dopamine levels, more research is required. While dopamine levels can be increased through the practice of yoga and regular exercise, to understand the full impact of increasing dopamine on cognitive functioning, more research is needed. Rest. Dopamine is a brain chemical that produces feelings of alertness and wakefulness when it is released. According to studies on animals, dopamine levels naturally decrease in the evening when it's time to go to bed, and they are naturally released in large amounts in the morning when it's time to wake up. But it seems that sleep deprivation throws off these biological rhythms. The number of dopamine receptors in a person's brain is significantly reduced the morning after being forced to stay awake at night. Reducing the sensitivity of the receptors should make it easier to fall asleep, especially after a night of insomnia, as dopamine promotes wakefulness. So lack of sleep can make the brain less sensitive to dopamine, which makes one feel sleepy all the time. The natural dopamine rhythms in your body may be regulated by getting a good night's sleep. What does flirting have to do with the brain? Flirting stimulates the overall nervous system, and healthy flirting promotes blood flow and causes adrenaline to be released. Increased levels of adrenaline consequently improve focus and alertness, whilst also making us more sensitive to touch. The increase in sensitivity is why a gentle touch can cause a heightened physical and emotional reaction. According to PET scans, flirting stimulates the brain regions that produce feel-good hormones like dopamine, and dopamine is a neurotransmitter and hormone that is linked to happiness. Why do we flirt, and what is flirting? Fundamentally, flirting is the ability to covertly express a moderate amount of romantic or sexual interest in someone else without coming right out and saying it. Humans are highly complex social creatures, and the foundation of our social hierarchies are a set of intricate social norms that we pick up instinctively as we develop, interact with other people, and eventually go out on our own to establish our own social bonds and connections. It's important to flirt with girls because it allows you to express your interest without undermining your attraction markers or saying things that could damage your social standing in the social setting you are in. It's crucial because women choose who they want to date, whereas men compete for those women. Flirting with girls allows men to show their interest in an appealing and non-threatening way, which in turn helps them compete for the attention. So we've got some examples for you to try. Be confident. Actually, the first secret to attraction is confidence. Why should she like you if you don't like yourself, right? Be sure to posture yourself tall. When you greet her and introduce yourself, make sure you are making direct eye contact. Flash her your impressive smile and give her a strong, firm, prolonged handshake. Maintain a straight back, keep your head high. Furthermore, don't be afraid to occupy some space. Men with a relaxed alpha mentality don't cower in the corner or minimize themselves. Puff up your chest and walk around as though you are in charge. If you are unsure of how to utilize attractive body language, consider finding a movie star, a character from a TV show, or a real-life example of someone who uses attractive body language and copy it. Conor McGregor is one of my favorite examples of a pop culture icon with amazing self-assured body language. Not only does this self-assured body language communicate strength and confidence, it also shows other people that you are comfortable in your own skin and have a sense of pride. Positive mindset. Before entering a situation where you might have the chance to flirt, adopt a happy frame of mind. You can influence how you feel on the inside by listening to a certain song, working out, wearing your favorite perfume, and dressing appropriately. Doing these things will help put you in a more positive frame of mind before you engage in any type of flirting. So, when you are in a good frame of mind, your dopamine levels rise as you enter the situation. So when you flirt with the ladies and they flirt back, it's like giving yourself a pat on the back, which will increase the dopamine levels even more. And this will give you confidence and self-esteem, making it much easier to keep your cool during flirting. Eyes. In order to flirt successfully, eye contact is crucial. The left eye in particular makes the best first impression. When you look from left to right, your mind will focus on areas of synergy, and this is because when you look into someone's left eye, you are directly accessing their right hemisphere of the brain, which is associated with emotional processing. Eye contact is very important when it comes to communication in general. It allows the other person to know and understand that you are giving them your undivided attention, regardless of what is happening around you. So, using eye contact when you are flirting subconsciously raises your dopamine levels. Eye contact has a lot of potential to make someone feel closer to you and can be the difference between a successful flirting session and one that just falls flat. No corniness. Avoid following any of the corny suggestions made by some so-called self-proclaimed dating expert. Aim to refrain from making excessive gestures or laughing out loud whenever they say something amusing. Instead, just try to be true to who you are and speak as naturally as you would with a friend. The best way for them to learn about the real you is this way, and it's okay if the two of you don't get along. Simply put, they weren't your type. By being yourself when flirting with a girl, you're giving your brain the ability to show who you truly are. And when women respond positively to that, which of course they will be because you are a total catch, you can feel a sense of pride in yourself, and that will raise your dopamine levels. Showing a girl your true self and letting her know that you are comfortable with who you are will make her feel more connected to you. Compliment. Giving someone a sincere compliment requires vulnerability because it entails being open about your feelings regarding their appearance, personality, attire, etc. They'll likely appreciate the kind words and your authenticity, even if you are a little uneasy about telling them you love them when they scrunch up their nose when they are thinking deeply. By being vulnerable and open about our positive feelings for another person, we can strengthen relationships and share our appreciation for them in a genuine way. When you compliment a woman on something genuine about herself, she will return the favor, which will inevitably raise your dopamine levels as your brain responds to positivity about your authentic self. Additionally, expressing appreciation for someone else reinforces the idea that we are capable of giving and receiving love. Smile. For many people, smiling conveys warmth and a sense of comfort, and it's amazing how much a difference raising your mouth's corners when speaking to someone can make. According to a 2003 neuropsychological study, looking at a smiling face can stimulate the area of the brain responsible for processing sensory rewards. They actually feel special and like they are doing something right when you smile at them, which can go a long way on a first date. Of course, there are a few different smiles you can give out when you are flirting with the ladies. That could be the smirk, the half smile, the full beam, and so on. However, regardless of the smile that you give, the dopamine levels will still be activated as our brains link a smile directly to happiness. This phenomenon is known as the facial feedback hypothesis, which proposes that facial expressions can cause emotional responses.